exciting for the general public to get up close to this German machine. Meanwhile, in our national scrapyards, nothing will go to waste, as all this junk will be melted down and used again in future British fighters and bombers of the RAF, to be used here and wherever the fight has to be fought. Send up our fighters and bring down the blighters. British bomber squadrons look affectionately at the Bristol Blenheim, which has been both a versatile fighter and bomber. It first flew in April 1935, and when it was introduced, it was faster than the RAF fighters of the day. A typical day on a Blenheim squadron consists of the briefing for the day's bombing sortie with the pilots and observers, gathering all the information they will need for the raid. Outside, ground crews prepare the aircraft by taking off the protective tarpaulins from the glass panels and the all-important 303 machine guns. The Blenheim 4 has a crew of 3, including pilot, an observer who navigates and drops the bombs, and a gunner who doubles up as the wireless operator. The other important men are the armourers preparing the bombs.
They remove the nose pistols and test them. Most of the testing of components has been done by the second party, whilst the first party was loading the bombs up in the bomb store. The actual fusing, therefore, starts immediately on the arrival of the bombs at the fusing point. Before the detonators are inserted into the detonator cavity or exploder, this cavity is gauged. The detonator is then inserted into the bomb. First the transit plug is removed, then the gauge is inserted in the detonator cavity, and then the detonator. The detonator, and finally the pistol.
Back in the crew room, the navigators spread their maps out on the large table some 20 feet long by 7 feet wide, usually with a smooth green top. Here the navigators can use their opened maps or charts to work out their flight bearings and details from a large map on the wall. The armourers continue to prepare the bombs from both the front and the rear.
The tail pistol is examined to make sure that the arming vane nut and striker move freely. The tail assemblies are now clipped onto the bombs. The tails are secured by 4 clips, and the armourer must see that these clips are properly engaged in their respective recesses.
Flying clothing and parachutes are retrieved from the flying clothing lockers in the locker room. This is where the wireless operators meet up with the rest of their crew, as they're usually not needed at the earlier briefing.
It is essential that the operation of clipping on the tail assemblies to the bomb should be correctly carried out. If this is not done, the tails will fall away from the bomb, and the bomb's flight through the air become unstable. Another bomb train with a load of incendiary bombs arrives at the fusing point. These bombs are carried on the aircraft in small bomb containers. The transporter is then clipped onto the container and the container inverted by rolling the loading cradle, which is then removed. Loaded containers are placed on lorries or bomb trains for transport to the aircraft. When the NCO in charge is satisfied that all bombs have been properly fused and that safety devices are intact, the train moves off to the aircraft. The bomb train now arrives at the aircraft.
The air crews now gather near to whatever transport there is to take them out to the Blenheims. The ground crews await the last armourers ready to load the fused bombs. If photographs are required, it's up to the observer to collect the camera from the photographic section and install it in the aircraft.
Except for one further important detail, the bombs are now ready for use. The armourer must remove the safety pins from the bombs and place them in the correct stowage position in the aircraft. This he should report both to the bomb aimer of the aircraft and to the armament NCO. You have done your part of the job now, and the flying crew will finish it. They will be risking their lives on a task which depends as much on your efficiency, care and skill as it will on theirs.
Typically, the Blenheim 4 can carry 1,000 pounds of bombs with a range of some 1,460 miles. It's fitted with a single dorsal power-operated turret with two 303 machine guns, as well as one or two fixed forward-firing 303s. It's of an all-metal construction. It has a maximum speed of 266 miles per hour, and she can fly up to a maximum height of 22,000 feet. With nerves jangling, the crews get into their battling Blenheims. Each aircraft must be signed off by its pilot before the sortie, so that the RAF has a complete record of every one of its aircraft. Time to start the two Bristol Mercury radial engines. It was a Blenheim 4 that made the first reconnaissance flight of the war over Germany on the 3rd of September 1939. Sometimes the Mercuries can be temperamental. With the engines fired up, the squadron gets ready for the takeoff sequence.